I could tell you this is a game for people who like rhythm games, psychedelics, and the Atari 2600, but the appeal of Bit Trip is even simpler than that, because at its core, this is a video game for people who love video games. This is the deliciously retro Bit Trip core. And I say this is a game for people who love games because it uses very old school design philosophies. The aesthetic, obviously, but also the focus on gameplay. This is a relic from an era when you didn't need 30 minutes of pretentious cutscenes just to set up 5 minutes of actual gameplay. This is a video game in the pure and ancestral form, a celebration of the interactive, the old school, and the trippy. The second game in the Bit Trip saga, Core was originally released in 2009 on the Nintendo Wii's WiiWare service. Following up the original Bit Trip Beat, Core takes the rhythm-based gameplay of its predecessor for another unique spin. Now, Beat was a unique game in its own right, but at least you could explain it. It was like Pong meets Guitar Hero on acid, but this is just ridiculous. So you're controlling a stationary crosshair in the middle of the screen. Now the crosshair can fire a laser in 4 directions corresponding with the D-pad. So you have to press the D-pad to aim, and since you're playing with the Wii Remote held on its side, you press the 2 button to fire. Now, the idea is to zap the bits as they cross your sights, but what makes it a Bit Trip game is the manner in which they do so and the timing that's required to shoot them. The bits are elaborately choreographed in such a way that destroying them actually adds to the soundtrack, making this a 4-directional shooter that's also a rhythm game. Now, I know, it's insane, but it's also incredible. And there's a real hypnotic nature to Core in a way. The steady pulse of the soundtrack and the irresistible gameplay really keep you fixated. It's got you gazing at the screen and sitting up in your chair. The game has a noticeably physical feel, and during level breaks, that's when you notice that it's got your whole body into it. You've been shooting bits in rhythm with your tapping feet. Of course, as irresistible as Core is, it can also be brutal. The Bit Trip titles keep the old school alive in terms of their difficulty as well, and this one's no exception. The bits move with progressively more elaborate patterns, essentially daring you to question the rhythm. The interesting thing about Core is that what looks like total chaos is actually moving with order, and if you trust the rhythm and you don't get overwhelmed, the music and the bits come together in this wonderfully trippy harmony. And hey, for $6 on WiiWare, it's also wonderfully affordable. Of course, you can also get Core as part of Bit Trip Complete, a retail compilation of all 6 of the Bit Trip games. And believe me, that's the way you want to go, because once you've played this one and it rattles you to your gaming core, you'll want to explore the entire psychedelic realm of Bit Trip.